In the last 4 months since Bola Tinubu became Nigeria's president, many Nigerians have watched in utter horror as the administration continues to fumble. The missteps are simply unacceptable, more so for a government that claims to be on a self-assigned mission of renewing the hope of long-suffering citizens. But I doubt if any discerning Nigerian is surprised at the embarrassing slip-ups and gaffes. In fact, what would have been surprising is a situation where Tinubu, in Oso Rock, levels with Nigerians. It is in the character of those who are presently allocating the country's collective values, authoritatively, to deploy propaganda and lies in governance. To them, subterfuge and outright sleight of the hand are legitimate governance tools. But are they? I dare say they are not, because government propaganda threatens democratic self-governance. In other words, it is an enemy of democracy. As U.S. Senator William Fulbright noted in his 1970 book, The Pentagon Propaganda Machine, there have been too many instances of lack of candor and of outright misleading statements in treating with the American public. Too often we have been misled by the very apparatus that is supposed to keep us factually informed or, in the very strictest sense, honestly guided. The Tinubu administration has chosen, deliberately, neither to keep Nigerians factually informed nor honestly guided, so much so that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, speaking through his media aide, Frank Shebu, recently quipped that, if the Tinubu government says it is morning, go outside to verify if the sun is shining. That may sound like an exaggeration, but the actions of the government make it extremely difficult not to believe that this is an administration that lies compulsively. But by so doing, the government is hurting itself and squandering the already depleted stock of goodwill of the few Nigerians still willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, because, as Liva Abijafor noted in an October 12, 2016 article in the Sun newspaper, the easiest way a government and a ruling political party can dilute the faith, the confidence, and the authority placed in them by the people is to undervalue the citizens and to assume that civil society is naive, easy to fool, uncritical, and always willing to accept half-truths. What is even most disconcerting is that most of these lies are needless. Truth would have been opposite, particularly given the fact that, like pregnancy, most of the events or issues the administration is lying about, sooner than later would become public knowledge. Take for instance the controversy over what was agreed during Tinubu's meeting with the United Arab Emirates President, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, in Abu Dhabi recently. Tinubu, on his way from India after attending the G20 meeting on observer status, stopped over in UAE. The mere fact that he had the presence of mind to raise the issue of visa ban and suspension of flights to Nigeria by both Etihad and Emirates Airlines was commendable. His predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari, the man who threw Nigeria into this pitiable ditch, couldn't care less. If the Tinubu government had leveled with Nigerians on the outcome of the meeting, he would still have earned some plaudits. By meeting with the UAE president, he had thawed the diplomatic ice, and discussions on how to proceed from there would have been the next logical step. Most times, diplomacy is not a 100-meter dash. It is a marathon that requires patience and skills. But this government can't help itself when it comes exaggerating things. So, Tinubu's spokesman, Ajurin Jolali, went to town with Abuja's version of what transpired at the meeting, and he was emphatic. President Bola Tinubu and President of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, on Monday in Abu Dhabi, have finalized a historic agreement, which has resulted in the immediate cessation of the visa ban placed on Nigerian travelers, Jolali related in a statement. Furthermore, by this historic agreement, both Etihad Airlines and Emirates Airlines are to immediately resume flight schedules into and out of Nigeria. More than 3 weeks after these emphatic claims were made, nothing has happened, the airlines have neither resumed flights nor have Nigerians started getting UAE visas. And nothing will happen simply because no such agreements were reached. Apparently embarrassed, the UAE countered the Abuja narrative, but with some finesse. Short of saying Nigeria lied, a statement by the UAE government said both leaders had during the meeting explored opportunities for further bilateral collaboration with the hope of reinforcing ties between the UAE and Nigeria. Some days later, an official from the Gulf state told the CNN, "There are no changes on the Nigeria/UAE travel status so far." One needs to have penchant for saying untruths to make the claims the Tinubu presidency made, knowing full well that the UAE will give its